I'm Brittany.
And I'm Tyler.
And this is
With You,
where we have honest conversations about how we're navigating faith,
marriage,
and parenthood
one crazy day at a time.
And welcome to our journey.
This episode, we're going to talk about how we invest in our marriage. One of our priorities this year is our relational health. How we invest in each other, our son, our relationship with our friends. In regards to our marriage, we've committed to taking certain action steps to help us grow closer to one another this year and strengthen our marriage. And so we thought we'd share some of those with you guys and hope that it might inspire you and strengthen your marriages too. And then there's also some other things that we tend to just do for fun often, and I thought we'd share some of those too. So, so let's get started with the things that we've committed to do this year.
So some of the action steps that we've committed to take this year are, number one is this podcast. So obviously we're recording another one. This is our second episode to date for the With You podcast, and that's been something creative we can do together and just something fun. And it gives us sort of a reason to have deeper conversations that maybe we wouldn't normally have or put as much thought into or something like that. So it's been really good for us and for our relationship just to do a nice project together. Also, some of our friends told us about, it's called the Marriage Journal. And if you follow the Roloffs, Audrey and Jeremy Roloff, you probably already know about this, but it's a journal that you do weekly with your spouse, and it has some questions about your week, and you take turns, at least I think that's the way that they do it, so that's the way we've been doing it. You take turns writing down the answers for the week, and it's just asking you questions about your week, and then it helps you to plan out the following week. And so it just is a tool that you can use to reconnect at least once during the week. We do ours on Sunday nights, so that would be tonight for us. And that's been really good as well. Just another way to support communication in our marriage.
Mm-hmm. One thing that they ask in the journal each week is you're supposed to ask each other, what can I do for you this week? And it's always a struggle to come up with something. I've just kept asking for a massage every week because I don't know what else to ask for from her. I don't know what I can have her do for me. Well, actually last week I came up with she can pick a 2 days of our dinner menu because I mostly pick out our dinner menu and it's a little bit of a chore. So if she can pick out 2 nights, that's helpful to me. But one thing that I thought we could do for that, to make it a little easier to answer that every week, is I came up with a list of a couple different things that we could do. And we could just basically pick out a hat every week. And that would be what we would do for each other each week. And they're just little things that we might enjoy the other person doing for each other. I named them in my phone, ways to love her and ways to love him. So, one thing was make her coffee or tea in the morning. Another thing is make her lunch. Another thing, write her a love letter and leave it in her car, in her lunch, or on her pillow, or, what have you. Another thing is caress her back for 30 minutes. Just little sort of things. Another things are surprise her with a treat or gift. And then they have there's a couple different dollar amounts maximum for that, so that way we can know for our budget you're gonna have that spent, but I don't know what the surprise is gonna be. So I don't know, I just thought it was an interesting thing we could do to help us answer that question every week. Pick out of a hat, and there's be tons of different things. We can make our own lists of the things that we would like to have done for us or surprised by and things like that. And then, yeah. What do you think about that?
I think that's very sweet, and I think it's a great idea, but I also think you do a lot of that by nature anyway.
True.
So, but I think it's a good idea. It'll be mostly helpful for me to know what I can do for you.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's great. The other thing is that we have set up a book night. So we've chosen a book to go through, and we have one night a week where Tyler will read at least one chapter of that book. And if we're really into it and we're still awake or we're having good conversation, we don't mind going further, but typically we'll do minimum one chapter. And Tyler enjoys reading. It helps him to retain the information a little bit better, and he enjoys that part of it, so we usually have him read. Right now we're going through Sun Stand Still by Pastor Stephen Furtick, and we really enjoy it and highly recommend it. So
Yeah.
The last thing that we do is we've decided to reinstate date night because we hadn't been doing it since our son was born. It was just kind of sporadic or kind of non-existent for a while. And it's super important for your relationship and your friendship more than anything else. So we've decided to make it a priority and find a babysitter and once a month go out on a date. And Tyler actually got for Christmas, it's called the Adventure Book, and there are, I think, 50 different dates. This is the couples version. I think they have a few different versions, but we have the couples version. And we can link it to the podcast notes page so that you guys can check this out, as well as Stephen Furtick's book as well and the Marriage Journal. But this Adventure Challenge book is 50 different dates, and they're all covered in like that scratch off material.
Like a lottery ticket.
Yeah, just like a lottery ticket. And they're all throughout the book, and around them, it just tells you kind of details so that you can plan for the date. So it'll tell you how long it might take, if it's at your house or outside of the home, if it's indoors or outdoors, if you need a babysitter, if it involves food.
If it's going to cost money.
Right, it tells you about kind of the cost range, and a lot of other details like that so that you can properly plan, but it's still something spontaneous at the same time. And so we've implemented that into our date nights, and we just had a date night last weekend, and our scratch off told us it was super fun, and so fun that we actually would like to do this on a regular basis at some point. But it told us to go to 3 different restaurants or places to eat, and go to one for appetizers, one for the main meal, and one for dessert. And then it told us to use a different name or alias at each place and choose a different accent to speak in at each different place. So we didn't do a different name and accent, but we did do the 3 different restaurants, and it was super fun, and they were super delicious. So we really, really enjoyed that.
Mostly because I was too excited about being at the new places, and I didn't even think about the other part. I was just excited to be at a new place, trying a new place, and was looking around and just sort of didn't remember.
And he told me that he was nervous about doing accents. So we didn't really implement that part, but that would be a fun thing to do in the future. So
I haven't acted since high school.
Regardless, it's really fun to try out new places to eat and to go to 3 different places.
It is.
So that was fun.
So those are the action steps that we've committed to this year, to invest in our marriage and grow our relationship closer to each other. And there's also some other things I just thought that would be fun to share that are just things that we tend to do often, just randomly.
Build our friendship and have fun together.
Yeah, just fun things that we do. Like, for instance, we love to go grocery shopping, especially at Wegmans together.
Specifically at Wegmans.
Specifically Wegmans. It's actually a special place to us in our relationship. It's where we actually grew to become best friends, and then eventually decided to
It's where Tyler
start
fell
dating.
in love with me. That's what really happened.
Maybe. And then so we love to just shop and just look around. Wegmans has so many different
For those of you
options.
who may not live in an area where there is a Wegmans is more than a grocery store. It is a grocery store, but it's more than that. It's beautiful, it's gigantic, and it's just it's a whole experience. They have their like seasonal section like any grocery store would have, but it's huge and it's really beautiful, nice stuff. Like things you would find at like, I'm not going to say Pottery Barn, but like really classy, nice things. And they just have everything. And it's just it's so beautiful inside. It's so nice. All of the people who work there are really nice.
It's always on like one of the top like 5 lists or something of places to work in America or something like that.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. And their prepared foods, that's delicious. We like to eat there for like as a restaurant.
It's an easy, convenient meal too.
Yeah, and they have an awesome dining area. They have a kids area where they've got toys and like a play kitchen, and they always have a TV playing a kids movie or kids TV shows like Paw Patrol and things like that. And then they have like different locations might have different things. The one that's closest to us, I think, has like a train set table and a kitchen and a coloring station. So, and then they'll give you free balloons for your kids that say Wegmans. It's just wonderful. Wegmans is literally the best. And
it's an experience. It's not just a grocery chore list place.
It's one of my top 5 favorite places in the whole world. Anyway, so yes.
So that's one of the things that we like to do for fun.
Yeah.
Another thing kind of tying along with that is trying unique new treats. So like if we see something new that's like a snack or a delicious treat.
Usually specifically chocolate.
Yeah, usually chocolate. Like last week or something, like maybe a week or 2 ago, I saw they got the Easter candy out.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just looking through the Easter candy, and they had Lindor truffles that were in the shape of an egg. So they were like almost 2 times the size of a normal Lindor truffle, which is like, it's so good. You have to get them if you haven't tried them.
Pace yourself, because they can easily be gone in one night.
Yeah.
If you're like my husband.
Yeah. Well, we love chocolate.
Yeah. You especially love chocolate.
Yeah, I do. But then there was also, they had what are those? The
Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher.
I love those.
They had eggs of those too that were
those
really
are small.
good.
Yeah, and those are a good small size.
But there were like new sort of like chocolate treats that I think this is probably the first year that they came out with either of those two, both of those companies, and because I've never seen those before.
We also really love Aldi. If you never shopped at Aldi,
yes,
it's wonderful. You can buy organic groceries for really affordable prices, but they also have a fabulous seasonal section as well. You can find all kinds of neat stuff there. But they also have a lot of like different kinds of foods from different areas around the world, and we've found really delicious chocolate there. Mm-hmm. Different treats and stuff like that.
Their peanut butter cups are really good.
Yeah, and they have these sea salted caramels that we really like.
Those are good too.
They're
Sometimes they're a little too salty.
They're a little over salted, so we usually brush off some of the salt, but they're delicious.
Yeah, for sure. So another thing that we do is obviously watch The Office and Parks and Rec.
Relax. We like to relax, and when we relax, we like to laugh.
Yes.
So we'll watch funny YouTube videos, we'll watch The Office, we'll watch Parks and Rec, we'll watch New Girl.
American Idol auditions.
Oh yeah, we love any kind of talent competition. We really love those, which is usually what we're watching on YouTube.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah, X Factor when it was on, The Voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we really like being entertained. So we'll just kind of relax and enjoy those kind of things.
And that's probably not revolutionary to anybody, but...
Yeah. But on the same kind of terms, we also, as far as entertainment, we sometimes entertain ourselves using Snapchat.
Oh, yeah. I don't know which one you were trying to talk about.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay. So, more recently, because I have Snapchat, but Tyler does not, and I don't really use my Snapchat all that often. Sometimes Tyler and I will just lay in bed and we'll record ourselves under a bunch of different filters, and then we'll rewatch the videos. And the other night we recorded one. My favorite Snapchat filter is the one where the
eyes get really big.
The eyes are big and the mouth is super wide and big. It's the mouth that's super big and wide. I mean, all of it is, but and
it specifically accentuates your eyes and your mouth only.
Yeah. And it changes. It's a voice changer one. And if you use Snapchat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we recorded us playing a game, which is another thing that we'll mention in a second. And I was singing a song and just my face looked hilarious because the Snapchat filter stopped working on my face. And my normal face just looked really funny. And so we probably watched that video like 10 times in a row. And we were laughing so hard. But that's just a fun thing to do together as friends. And
it's good to laugh with each other.
Yeah, it really helps to build our friendship and our relationship to laugh together.
Yeah.
But on that same note, what game were we playing?
We were playing the word song game. I don't know what it's called, but...
We were playing...
What is it called?
We were playing Song Association.
Song Association. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want to tell them what it is?
You tell them.
I saw it from it. You may have seen this on YouTube if you're subscribed to any of this, but the magazine Elle does these interviews with different artists, recording artists, and it's called Song Association. And so what they'll do is they'll take like Billie Eilish or Meghan Trainor or someone, JoJo, and they'll give them a word, and they give them 10 seconds to sing a lyric of a song that includes that word. So they'll be like, okay, heart, and then the timer starts counting down 10 seconds, and they'll have to sing a lyric like my heart will go on or something like that, achy breaky heart or whatever, and then they have to say the name of the song and who sings the song. So we just recently started playing that. Actually, on our date night is when we first started playing it, and now we really enjoy doing that together. And so we were doing that using Snapchat filters, and it was
Which
hilarious.
Makes it even more fun.
It was hilarious. And then a couple days later, we showed our son all the videos, and he wasn't as amused as we were.
He was. He liked it. And then we used the Snapchat filters on him.
That's when he's really amused. He wants to see himself.
Yeah. But we'll post some of those videos that we took.
We'll post
on
the one that
Instagram.
got me cracking up. Oh, I haven't laughed that hard in so... because my face was the normal face, but my voice was changed to the high pitch. Oh, it was so funny. It was one word. Was it heart? Was I singing heart?
I don't remember.
It was so funny, though.
We'll post it on our Instagram, and you guys will have to check it out. But one other thing that we like to do is go for walks. So we'll, especially when the weather is nice, we'll go for a walk around our neighborhood, or we'll go to a park and go for a walk. Just to get outside. It's always nice. And then when, we live in Buffalo, so when the weather's not nice, sometimes we'll go to the mall just to walk around, or maybe Target or something, just so that we can walk around and, I don't know, just enjoy
get out
one
of the
another's
house.
company and get out of the house, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you live in a climate where it's this cold or wet or the weather is just nasty, you get cooped up in the house a lot, or at work. You spend all your time at work inside a building, and then you come home and you're inside. So even though we might be walking around inside, at least we're change of scenery, and it's fun for the baby to run around. He's not really a baby. He's a toddler. He will be 2 in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Gosh, that happened fast.
Mm-hmm.
So lastly, for any of you who know us personally, or especially those of you who attended our wedding, you may have heard the term butterwicking. Tyler and I...
Is not where you're actually wicking butter?
Is wicking butter a thing?
Yeah. The Amish, they wick butter.
It's called wicking?
Yeah, isn't that what it is? Churning butter.
I was like, what are you talking about? Okay.
Wicking.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. That's like candles. So when Tyler and I were dating, we used to enjoy and still enjoy going to open houses for like real estate open houses when people are trying to sell their homes. But we specifically would go to like the really ritzy areas and go through like the bigger homes, the nicer homes. And we've done this just for fun. We've done this here in Buffalo. We did it when we lived in Charlotte, and we haven't done it in the same sense that we've done it in the past since we've been back, but we did go through a walkthrough. But it is a home that we would love to buy. But butter wicking, the term butter wicking comes because usually when you go through these open houses, they have you sign in, and you have to write down your name and email address and phone number and whatever. And so when we were dating, we used to put an alias down some of the time, and Tyler came up with that we were going to be the Butterwickers, that he was I was Ophelia and he was Cornelius Butterwicker. So if you follow our son's Instagram, he is Baby Butterwicker, and that is why. And at our wedding, our hashtag was #the Butterwickers. So if you're listening now and you ever want to see any of our wedding pictures, you can search #Butterwickers. But we call it butterwicking when we go to these open houses, and so we still enjoy doing that. We do use our real names now, and that's fine. But we
I don't think we ever really did use our fake name. I think we just did it for ourselves. Mm-hmm. It was just fun to pretend.
Yeah. And sometimes we will do that online. So we'll just kind of sit and hang out on the couch or in our bed and look online through houses and watch the virtual tours.
Oh, look at this one.
Yeah, we'll share them with each other, and it's just fun to dream about like planning for our future. We'd like to buy a house someday, obviously, and I mean, a lot of these we can't afford, but it's fun to plan and hope and have a goal to work toward.
Who knows? Maybe we'll win the lottery someday.
I don't want to win the lottery, though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about winning the lottery. Like, I wouldn't feel good about it. I wouldn't feel like I worked for anything, because you didn't work for anything.
Well, you scratched that thing off, and it was hard to do.
Spent 3 weeks at the gym just to build up that muscle to move that penny back and forth. No. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We would love to hear more about how you guys invest in your relationships, whether it be marriage, dating, engaged, or your family and friends. You guys can find us across the board on all social media platforms. We are at With You Podcast, or if you'd like to email us directly, we are withyoupodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.